Breaking news here on the channel. Leon Rose and the New York Knicks have signed former first-round pick Dylan Windler. Another move for the Knicks. They've made a couple of moves, really turning over the back end of that roster and trying to figure out who are going to be on the two-way contracts for the New York Knicks. Right now, there's 4 players on two-way deals for New York, which means another move, whether it's someone getting a full-time NBA deal or someone getting cut. That is going to be coming very, very soon. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and this is why you guys subscribe to the channel, because if the Knicks make a move, we are going to make a video. If you never want to miss out on anything New York Knicks, go down right now and hit that big red subscribe button. I want to bring on producer Patrick Seatman into today's show. Seeps, how's it going, man?
How you doing, Marsh? How exciting is this? Another redhead brethren joining the New York Knicks roster.
We got 2 redheads now in the Knicks.
Two redheads.
Big Ragu, Dante DiVincenzo, and now your boy, Dylan Windler. I brought Seeps onto the show today. He's usually on the show for live shows, which we love. But I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Dylan Windler. I don't like lying to you guys and acting like I know absolutely everything, because I don't. But for some reason, somehow, Seeps knows who the hell this guy is.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with him in his college days. He was an absolute bucket getter at Belmont. I mean, he has one of the best three-point shots that we've seen in recent college memory. But, again, Woj was the one that broke this news. 4th two-way deal for the Knicks, which is pretty interesting.
Ridiculous. We'll talk about the two-way saga the Knicks have going on right now. But Woj reported Windler will be getting a two-way deal from the Knicks. 26 years old, comes in at 6'6", but at Belmont was listed at 6'8".
Yeah, when I was looking at it, Belmont had him at 6'8". The Cavs had him at 6'6". So we'll call him 6'6".
We'll call him 6'6". Maybe he's a program 6'7", but 6'6", 196, 26th pick in that 2019 draft, and he's out of Belmont, like Seeps was talking about. Hasn't got much burn in his NBA career thus far. He's been in the league a couple of years, but he's only played in 84 career games, getting about 11.7 minutes per night. And the stats are what the stats are, right? 3.3 points, just over 2 boards, almost an assist per night. And the reason he's in the NBA, Seeps, is to be a knockdown shooter, but it just hasn't necessarily been that. And that's hard when you're getting spot minutes and you don't get that consistency, only 32.2% from deep. But Seeps, you showed me a highlight tape. The dude was a bucket, and he could light it up from 3, especially in college.
Yeah, he was sweet in college. The thing I love about him is if you guys go watch his release and everything, we're watching his highlights. If you guys are diehard Knicks fans, he releases the ball. He could catch it at the top of his head, and most guys have to bring it right back down.
I love that.
He can go right up and shoot it right away. I mean, that's what he did all the time at Belmont. He was an absolute dog there, and, maybe he can add some of that fire he had at Belmont and bring it to New York.
So I'm literally watching this video right now. Every three-pointer made by Dylan Windler during the 2021-2022 season, you want to know who my pro comp for him is?
Who?
Joe Ingles.
Joe
Literally
Ingles,
the lefty, catch it right here, doesn't have to go down. That's the shot, the sign of a good shooter, where you don't have to catch it here, go down, because that's what Mitchell Robinson does. I'm not saying like trying to hate on Mitch, but he gets rebounds up here. He brings it down. Kyle Lowry comes and knocks it out. Yep. Windler catching it here straight in front of his face and knocked it down. And Seeps, he did a whole lot of that in college.
Yeah, I mean, his whole college career, all 4 seasons, over 40% from deep. And I actually will make this argument. I think it's harder to score in college basketball in comparison to the NBA because the floor spacing's tighter and everything. And the fact that he was to put up these numbers, 40+% from 3 in his whole college career. But what I love about this, Marsh, he's a scrappy rebounder. Only at 6'6", 6'8", whatever you want to call him, pretty much almost average 8 rebounds a game during his college career.
I love it. And that's what the Knicks are. They're a bunch of scrappy dudes that play hard. Here's a clip of him knocking down a 3 against the Knicks with Nerlens Noel closing out on him. But like you said, he was a dog in college. And fun fact of the day, via the Patrick Seatman stat of the day, he's the only player in 2019 to average at least 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game, and shoot 40% from 3. Did the Knicks get their Obi Toppin replacement in this guy?
I don't know if he has the athletic ability of Obi, but this is pretty interesting. Also, he was one out of only 18 players to ever do this in college basketball. He carried this Belmont team, led them to they played in the first 4 games, and they lost to Maryland in round 1 of the 2018 tournament, but he put up 35 points and 11 rebounds in that game, and he was awesome. I mean, you don't do this. I mean, 20-plus points a game, 10-plus rebounds, 2.5 assists.
That's big-time stuff.
I mean, that's huge, and that's typical maybe stretch 4. I know Knicks fans don't like when we call smaller guards stretch 4s, but
because there's just so many backup power forwards the Knicks have to be worried about in the Eastern Conference. Steeps, I think we should also mention he is a lefty.
He is
so you got Brunson, you got Randall, you got RJ, you got Windler. I mean, how many lefties can you fit on one roster?
I think this has to be the max. This has to be the last lefty the Knicks bring in.
It is ridiculous. We'll break this signing down in a little bit more, and then we'll talk about the two-way deals that the Knicks have and have offered. They've signed 4 players to two-way deals. They've offered a 5th. Thing is, you can only have 3, so we'll break that down in a second. But I want you to grade the signing of Dylan Windler. I'm sure some people are upset that the last 2 players the Knicks have signed are Nathan Knight and Dylan Windler. But hey, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the signing of Mr. Windler. Seeps, pros and cons. What's the scouting report on DW, as I'm going to call him?
Yeah, this was mainly coming out of college because obviously limited reps here in the NBA. But like we were talking about on top of the show, that quick release. Literally, he can catch the ball at his forehead, and it is going straight up there. No need to bring it down. He wasn't really the biggest guy, off the dribble in college. He's a typical catch-and-shoot guy. But, Marsh, I mean, I think if the Knicks can get creative, if somehow he has to play a couple games this year, run him off a couple sets because he's great coming off screens as well. We also talked about it. Scrappy rebounder. I mean, only at 6'6", 6'8", average double-digit boards in college.
One thing that, he's going to have to make this roster. Two-way deal. He could play at max of 50 games in the regular season. If you don't know what a two-way deal is, it's pretty much a deal that pays you about $80,000 per year where you play most of your games in the G League, but you could play up to 50 games in the regular season. And if you go more than 50 games, you have to be converted to a full-time NBA contract. Seems what I like after just watching 4 minutes of him shooting threes is the quick release, like you said, being able to catch it here and go up with it. Well, remember, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle were 2 of the top 12 most double-teamed players in the NBA, and there's nothing like having a quick release in that corner as an outlet pass.
Yeah, definitely. It just makes that help defender think about it. He's got Jalen Brunson coming at him. He's like, do I help over or do I go get on DW in the corner? I mean, that's obviously just a huge advantage, especially in the modern day game.
We even saw that in the Heat series. Remember, Josh Hart started that series as a starter, and they could help off Josh Hart in that corner when Brunson would drive left. And who knows if Dylan Windler is going to be playing in the playoffs. That's not my point. My point is where you have at least a threat, because when Grimes was out there, they had to play denied defense, and they couldn't step off him. Maybe Windler can be that guy down the road, but I never have a problem adding more shooting to this team because the Knicks were the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA playoffs, and they were a bottom 10 three-point shooting team in the regular season. Maybe Windler can help them in that regard. 32% off catch and shoot threes, not good by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not going to judge completely based off of a limited sample size. You saw that he can create a little bit when he gets to the cup, converting better than 60% on less than 10 feet. And the pull-up jumper field goal percentage, kind of wild.
Higher than I thought. He also took him at a higher clip than I thought as well, but he's a gadget guy. He is definition of a catch-and-shoot guy. And that's
Can he be a Tibbs guy?
That's the question. He's got the dog in him. I just don't know if he moves laterally fast enough for Tom Thibodeau. But we'll see. Maybe Tibbs sees something in him that we don't on the defensive side of the floor, but who knows?
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I do know this, though. The Knicks roster is absolutely loaded when it comes to depth. You got the starting 5, Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, and Robinson. But almost every position now has a straight backup. Your backup point guard's Emmanuel Quickly. Your backup 2 guard is Dante DiVincenzo. Your backup wing is Josh Hart. And you got 2 backup really good centers, and Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein, who the Knicks picked up that contract for Jericho Sims and is now guaranteed, good for him, for the 2023-2024 season. You see at the bottom of the screen, you got Trevor Keels, you got Windler, you got Martin, and you got Nathan Knight. So let's break down the two-way deals. So right now, the Knicks have 4 players on two-way deals. Trevor Keels, Jalen Martin, Nathan Knight, and Dylan Windler. They also extended a qualifying offer of a two-way deal to Dwayne Washington, who I would assume that is not going to be picked up. Thing is, Washington could pick that deal up. the Knicks would have to pay him the two-way salary. Then they could just cut him, which is the worst case scenario. But I'm going to act as if Dwayne Washington is out of this situation. Just Keels, Martin, Knight, and Windler. I mean, one of those guys is either going to have to be cut or they're going to have to be upgraded to a full-time roster spot. So if we get any more news on Keels, Martin, Knight, or Windler, we're going to break it down. That's why you subscribe to the channel. You can also find out about the latest Knicks news and rumors over on my Twitter. Give me a follow over there at @MarshallGreen_. And we're going live on the channel in a couple of hours, Monday Night Live on Knicks Now. We usually go live on Tuesday. Switched it to Monday this week because a lot of stuff to talk about. So see you in a couple hours. Subscribe, turn notifications on.